So let's say you've been talking with brokers about multifamily properties, right? You've been having conversations with them, and they're talking about this stuff. One of the things that they're going to do is they're going to throw this word around Class A, Class B, Class C, but nobody really explains properly on the web about what the heck does Class A, B, C mean. So here's a quick primer on the differences between Class A, B, and Class C multifamily properties. So A are prestigious, rich tenants, above average rents. You've got buildings are generally newer. So most of the time, the buildings are less than 20 years old. Though if they're in San Francisco, they could be 100 years old. They've got higher quality finishes. So you've got the steel countertops, the granite countertops, the steel appliances, great amenities, heated pools, those sorts of things. They're usually close to BART. They're close to city centers. And the challenge is that the cash flow is low. That's because people pay up for them. Institutional investors, pension funds tend to hold Class A assets because over time, over a large time, I don't mean over 5 years, but over a 20-year time frame, Class A will have higher appreciation than either Class B or Class C. They tend to maintain their value better, but they're very sensitive to recessions because a lot of the people that are Class A tenants downshift to Class B properties. So they are very sensitive to recessions. So the best kind of owner of a Class A is a deep-pocketed fund. And to be honest, most owners of Class A properties tend to be very deep-pocketed folks that can hold on for a long time and benefit more on the appreciation side than on the rent growth side. Class B, now this is the stuff, the ordinary people, right? So wide range of users, average rents. They tend to be about, I'd say 20 years to 40 years is fairly common for Class B, though sometimes they're older than that. Fair to good finishes. You're going to see less steel. You're going to see less granite countertops. There's always some deferred maintenance at a Class B. So if you go in there, there's stuff that needs to be fixed, needs to be broken when you're buying. You always need a capital budget. Good amenities. So they probably will have a pool if it's a fairly large size property. And the cash flow is better, right? Because people are not paying up as much for Class B buildings as they're paying for Class A. So you see cap rates of maybe 5 to 7 nationwide. In the San Francisco Bay Area, you see cap rates of between 3 and 4 for Class B. And you now see private buyers, right? So institutionals are very heavily involved in Class A because those are really expensive. But now you start seeing some individual private buyers that are buying Class B buildings. And then Class C, these are buildings that are generally older than 35 years, so 35 to 100 years old. Located in much less desirable locations. They're always in need of some kind of renovation, some kind of updating. The rents are lower, and there's a higher level of mismanagement at Class C properties because a lot of individuals buy them, rich investors buy them, they don't know how to maintain them. So the real opportunity is that you can go in and you can fix a mess that someone else has made, and the largest number of messes are going to be in Class C. Cap rates are these days above 6.5 cap, which means that the price is lower. Once again, higher cap rate equals lower price. The cash flow is higher. There's tremendous upside, especially if you're rehabbing them. Class Cs would not have as much, upside if you're not rehabbing. So the vast majority of projects are considered value add, which means that they're rehabbing and then increasing the rents. But but A's and B's will definitely appreciate more in the long run. And by the long run, I mean 20 years holds. There's also a class called D, don't buy. These are war zones and really are not our markets, very rough areas. And, I strongly suggest that you be very careful that you're not buying a D, because in 2018, I see more inventory of Ds than I've ever seen before. So I'm a little worried about that.